This is Null Chunk, my hardcore chunk-locked Ironman. First step is to unlock the 3 quests required to use all of the skills in RuneScape, and that's Druidic Ritual, Rune Mysteries, and Pandemonium. I chose to unlock the Rune Mysteries so I wouldn't be locked out of magic forever, or at least for a very long time. And for Druidic Ritual, I will be utilizing it to identify herbs, but I will not be intentionally going out of my way to train up the skill just to skip potentially some grind by getting the potions to get it. And for Pandemonium, I just want to have access to all of the new stuff that has been released in the past year, and especially some of the drops that come uniquely from salvaging and other sailing related activities will really help me out in my no GP run. When it comes to Varlamore, I will only unlock that quest when I have a valid way to get there, and that means I will either reach one of Varlamore's ports through sailing, or obviously I'll reach Varrock and then I'll do the quest as I unlock the chunks for the quests. Sailing is one of the reasons I'm adding some exceptions to the no GP rule, as you cannot properly engage in the skill without spending a single GP. It would be amazing if there were some rare drops that allowed me to bypass the requirement, but as it stands, I will be forced to spend on a skip and a sloop, and I will be spending the initial money to bring my raft over to my starting chunk. After that, I'll try to minimize any spend that's not necessary, but there will be exceptions as they come. I don't want to spend too much time in the intro section and would rather go straight to the chunk picker and start explaining some of the rule set there, although I will try to utilize more of a show not tell in this whole series and will bring up relevant rules as I encounter them. With Pandemonium complete, I'm finally ready to go into my chunk and start my playthrough as a Chunkman. Right, we're starting off in the Lands End chunk, and as you can see, we have a few tasks right away in the backlog. Per the rules, anything that requires spending GP will be backlogged most of the time until we either no longer need it because the task unlocked superseded. So I expect that Tyra's Helm will be no longer necessary the moment we unlock something better, especially if we've, let's say, progressed to the top and like have access to better drops. Or in cases of skip and sloop, I would still like to unlock them down the line, but I would like to introduce some kind of a unique grind that would enable me to purchase them. When it comes to the actual rule sets in depth, I added it to the notes, and I will try to track whenever I change anything here, but I'm hoping the current rule set won't change much. Let's very quickly go over them. So the main rule of the series is we will try not to use any GP. Well, at least as much as possible. We have a few exceptions. So if a quest or a diary requires me to spend some gold, I am allowed to do it once. But for example, for diaries, if some require me to move my home to a specific place, so I am allowed to move my house to that place once for the sake of the diary requirement. I think it could be interesting in a way that down the line it might be a strategic decision if I want to, I don't know, like move it around or not. But this is, I don't know, down the line we'll figure it out. The main thing, and what I see quite a lot of Chunkmen utilize, is that we cannot use GP to bypass some of the more annoying grinds. So for example, in the Lands End chunk, I can use the charter ships, and as you know, all the charter shops actually stock materials to allow you to bypass a lot of the crafting grinds. Yes, they are annoying, But as long as you have enough gold, it's essentially just a case of stocking up and then spending hours blowing glass, something like that. So it will create some interesting interactions that potentially are less common, but we'll see. I don't want to spend too much time on the actual rules. I did try to be as explicit as possible and include as many clauses as I can, but there's a huge likeliness that I forgot something or did not account for something. So at the end of it, I am adding a flexibility clause that if the progress becomes too trivial, or if the mechanics are overly restrictive, or just for some reason I'm in a position where the meme grinds are just stacking up and the next chunk roll is, I know, in the next decade, I am allowed to come in and adjust the rules as needed. As is traditional with chunk accounts, our first step is to clear everything out, and for now I'm thinking I'm gonna keep the captain's log because it's unique and it's not really tradable. I might need it down the line, but everything else just has to go straight onto the ground. Our first event, which is a beekeeper's event, and we get some pants and a lamp. Considering I can't buy anything, I'm guessing I'll gonna end up just flinching the bears for the few kills that I do need. I can see I don't need a lot, and I can do most of it just flinching on the bear cup. That's probably gonna be a bit easy. Yeah, just whoa. Okay, chill. That actually only a few jumps and I realized that I probably should check if they actually buy the crossbows at the charter. Let's see. Oof, 10 coins. Alright, then we're almost there. And it only took me almost until the end to actually decide to check if the candle can also be sold. So, okay, selling the last crossbow. That's the 250 we need. And let's check, could have, no. Okay, so recover our raft from Port Sarim. Alright. Yep, and that's the one time spend done. And after this, we hopefully no longer need to give away our coin to anyone else. I don't know how I actually missed that, but we do have some things around here, and it's red berries and flax. Not very major right now, but who knows? Maybe one day. I feel that I really did not appreciate just how long the first few kills will be, and as you can see, almost dying right away, which would be a very sad start, losing the hardcore status almost right away. Well, I'm guessing see you again in however long it takes me to kill this bear. Okay, this is getting quite ridiculous. I reached level 2 in everything, and the bear is essentially at the same HP as it was before. Okay, this is not even that funny anymore. So I'm almost level 3, and the bear actually has more health than before. So yeah, I've been hitting some zeros. Yep, I have. This rate, I think we're looking at half an hour if I'm lucky, an hour to kill one bear. It's possible. I really hope not, but it is possible. Alright, so I had enough time to actually search and install a quick plugin to check that I need one more strength until a max hit increase. So I'm hoping after a bit of suffering, this will speed up by a lot when I can actually out damage the bear's regen. Alright, so after being a bit more risky, I finally managed to get the bear under 20, and I'm just one hit away from that level. Yes, level 4 and max hit 2. So hopefully now we'll start moving faster, because this is taking a while. Big performance. We are almost close to 50 minutes in, and we're still on this grizzly bear. Finally. Right. 49 minutes, 50 seconds to get a bear fur, bear meat, and bones. Well, at least I completed a few tasks and got the 1 kill on the bear needed. But I think it's time to look around if I can somehow maybe train on something around here to improve the kill time. Okay, so if I time it correctly, I can attack these level 6 rats and hopefully get some training in, while being careful not to die, while waiting for my health to recover. Time to try out some sailing. A few unlocks. Alright, let's go. And because I forgot the item to get the item with me, I get to check if I can chart without. Oh, I can. Alright, that's cool. So I do not need the journal to chart. Okay, let's disembark. And that's officially another task complete. Yeah. One of the tasks was to dock at Land's End, and we've done it. And we did the charting. So all that's left is the bear grind. Okay. Well, I still remember I did get 1 meat. So let's see if we can knock off another simple task of cooking 1 meat. So, perfect. Alright, so we got another quick task done. And that is the cooking a cooked meat done. Now we're truly on to the bears. Second bear coming close, level 6, just a bit more. Let's see. Did we get... Nope. I'll try to... Let's see if I de-aggroed while killing them. I hope I did. Maybe then I can snipe a few rats and, well, push my strength a bit up. So hopefully improve this grind. Amazing. So one of the drops I was a bit worried that I'll have to grind for just dropped. So I'm done with the beginner crew scroll. It is from a rat though. Maybe that counts? That would be kind of great, because grinding for a drop from a bear would be way more annoying. So we continue to camp that one level 3 rat that comes into my chunk and kill it on repeat until I'm level 5 in attack and maybe defense too. I think it would help, because any mistake now, I quite often just get hit by like 2 by the cub and 3 by the actual bear. So a bit too close for comfort. So we are 19 rats down. Just coming over here to cook some meat and hopefully cook some of it instead of burning all of it. So I can go back and push it to 5 attack and 5 defense before I start grinding for the head from the bear cup. Level 3 cooking, that's nice. So, I mean, would be nice to at least cook half of them. Yep, I burned more than half. So, not that lucky. For a while I was doing quite well, but in the end it still took 10 minutes to get that 1 extra KC. So I'm guessing back to the rats if I'm all de-aggroed. Let's just check first. I think it's okay. Oh, no, it's very much not okay. Yep. I did not know this one. It seems searching this crate specifically brings is a butterfly net. Considering I can't buy them, this is actually pretty nice. That means if I can level my hunter a bit, I don't really need to do barehanded. That's actually great. A bit sad, but still have to run from rats. It seems that, I don't know, when I'm not that lucky, they still hit hard. And yeah, we'll just have to keep running, cooking, flinching, going for rats, and hopefully at some point I'll reach like an equilibrium where killing rats will not decrease my HP. Then I can really grind up some levels and go for the bears. It's actually getting a lot better. We're starting to hit something, and it only took us 3 hours to get to 0.1 DPS. Well, at least now it's actually starting to pick up and I'm doing some damage. It's no longer just purely flinching or just running away from rats, which is quite ridiculous. It's the kind of thing you forget when you have access to all the gear that you want and all the food that you want. But yeah, getting better. As you can see from the bear first, we have some flinching kills too, so it is picking up speed. So I'm hoping that by the time I hit 10 on all, I'm gonna be good to just continuously flinch the cubs and get through this grind in the next like hour or two. Just got my first book of knowledge, so I'm guessing going straight into Slayer 2. I'll see how long it goes. Hopefully I won't be regretting just throwing everything into Slayer when potentially something better might be. And with this, I'm base 10, still flinching away. How many kills am I? I think I'm like, what? 11 beer cups down and 1 grizzly, so still halfway there. And with that, strength 14 and 1 more max hit so I can kick these bears faster. Finally got the head, so I'm done with this chunk and I'm done kicking bears. Well, at least for now. Alright, so this is the bank at the end of the chunk. Last drop acquired, so all that's left is to switch over to the chunk picker. Take off the last task. Now we're done. And all that's left is go for another roll. So with this chunk, I can actually get around and into the other chunks, but this chunk for now will be unavailable. Right, so the next chunk I can roll is the Koran Woodland one, which brings quite a few good drops, to be fair. If I, at this point, I would be quite happy to get it. Okay, another option is the one above us, and that is the West Koran Woodland one. Yeah, so let's just mark it right away. Alright, so these are the 3 chunks next to me, and because Land's End is connected to Port Sarim, this chunk also becomes unlockable. So even though I'm playing without using gold, the travel between Port Sarim and Land's End is free. So as long as it's free, I can travel. So this is another option. And I will actually not allow Port Piscarilis because technically I can travel through land over time towards that site. Yeah, so these are the 4 chunks that I can roll, I think. I guess. Yeah, let's just go for it. Yes, please. Let's see what I get. And I get the currently free chunk. Alright, so I did a very quick look through the new unlock chunk. And I can't really see anything useful there. I mean, let's be real, I cannot kill bull sharks right now because with their max hit of 5, it's a death. It's essentially death. Like, I'm gonna be sinking almost immediately. But it does give me some access to the second half of the chunk from the water side, the initial chunk, and a few extra unlockable chunks that I can roll now. So no point to spend too much time here. Back to the chunk picker we go. Sadly, all of these probably go all to the backlog because I just cannot kill. I just keep looking around chests, trying to see if I missed something, and I just found a bird snare, which is quite cool. I think I have a spot near to me where I could start training hunter. I think it's the chunk next to me, so that's actually pretty nice. I would only need to go to 9 hunter in some way, lamps, before I can just start training it normally. Alright, so some time has passed and I have confirmed that the chunk that I rolled, my second chunk, the bulk shark cannot be completed because the chunk picker has no way of telling if I can actually kill bull sharks. So it has no concept of checking if I can build cannons on my raft or if I have magic or range. It's essentially just checking if there's an NPC I can kill, and because there is, it just added to my chunk tasks. So that does mean that with the bulk sharks removed, we are ready to roll the next chunk. So, quick view, what we have is these 3 chunks here are water chunks. I cannot reach Auburn Whale in any other way, just the water part. The 1 and 2 are the walkable parts that come with pretty significant grinds behind them. Then I remember this time to add the shipyard, which I can reach by going through this NPC here. And as last time, we do have Port Sarim. That's free boat rides from Land's End. So how about I just go ahead and roll. Let's see what we're gonna get. Let's hope it's something nice. And it is another water chunk. Alright, that's interesting. I think it's gonna be also an empty chunk. Yeah, but how about we just check it out? Okay, so let's go and check out our new chunk. It should be somewhere on this side. Let's add it to the unlock chunks. Let's stop so I don't accidentally go out. It is 6196. Okay. That is added and another chunk unlocked. Yes. Okay, so we do have access to some things that eventually we'll be able to interact with, like, well, the shoal here. Alright, can't really do anything with it right now. Can't even target it properly. Yeah, so I'm very close to some of the things here. Oh, is it a shipwreck? It is. So whenever I get a salvaging hook, I could start salvaging here from level 15. So yeah, I would need to do some sailing around, level it up, and see if... Actually, it's a good question. I don't think I can put a salvaging hook on a raft, right? So it's a good question how I could utilize it, but as it stands now, another chunk unlocked. Time to go back to the chunk picker and go for another one. We're back at the chunk picker and not a lot has changed. We just gain access to rolling a chunk below with a small bit that we can access, and I think this is potentially something interesting. We would see. And chunk 7 is just, I'm guessing, oh, it does have access to turns, but again, we're gonna run into the same problem, but currently we can't kill any, while this chunk gives us nothing. So yeah, 2 chunks that are essentially free chunks. Nothing more to say. Let's go and roll another one and see how long this luck lasts. Alright. And come on. Aha. The Auburn Whale East is our next chunk. I believe again it is, yes. This chunk does not give any tasks, and these ones cannot be actually accessed, so they will not be rollable. I don't think there's a lot of point to check it out, but let's do it either way. Unless Jagex at some point allows us to dock wherever we want, this is an empty chunk for us. We're ready to roll our next chunk. Let's hope our next roll actually gives us some doable tasks. I would actually like to go either up or down, or honestly even Port Sarim might be pretty nice because it would give me some interesting tasks down the line, and then let's just see what's next. Let's roll it. Right? And where are we going next? That's actually not that bad. I don't mind it. I mean, yeah. I can't say I'm very excited by the potential of the chunk below us, but all the other chunks, from my point of view, are pretty nice because it will give me access to quite a few interesting things. Okay, let's save it. Okay, that is quite interesting. Yeah, we have quite a few tasks. Quite a few tasks indeed. Yeah, I see. So some of these tasks are generated because they think I can buy, yeah, because there's a fish shop and they do think that I can buy just whatever I need to catch the fish. So I'll first need to go and check it out. But I do believe some of these tasks are still not possible because I cannot obtain a way to catch the fish without spending gold. And one of the points of the series is that I'm not planning to spend gold. We have no gold in hand. We travel and we are here. Right. Port's Rim. Let's unlock it. 12082. Yep. And it's unlocked. We have Red Bear Frank. So that's a quest starting location. Let's see what's on the ground, because I do believe some of the tasks will have to be backlogged. Let's just see how many of those we're gonna have in the backlog. Very nice. We finally have something we can wear on our top, even if it gives us no stats at all. And yeah, let's see what you have. Yeah, so this is why they think I can start fishing. It's because I do have access to a shop that sells it, but the main point being I do not have it on the ground as far as I'm aware. Alright, so I looked around and it seems to be correct that some of these things are only marked as attainable because they do believe I have access to the fish shop, which I don't. The only way for me to start fishing is if I find a harpoon or a net or big net or something either on the ground or as a drop from a mob. So as it seems, out of these things I'll be able to do the thieving, obviously, the herb lore, because I assume I can get it as a drop, yeah, from a man, from a woman or thief, so that's nice. The fishing will be backlogged, and I'm guessing that backlogs the cooking too because I cannot get the shark. For the adamant weapon, I think this time I will try and actually get the 30 attack, even though I cannot purchase the weapon itself. But yeah, so I'll be backlogging the cooking and fishing until I have a way to fish and gain fishing experience. And it's the same for magic. I'm not sure right now, but I might. And yeah, with my current rule set, I do not believe I can level magic because it has to be a drop of 1 in 16 or more common, and it seems that the drop of at least these runes is 1 in 64. Right, okay, but the nice bit is that I can finally have access to ranged because Land's End gives me a crossbow, and there is a spawn for bronze bolts on the Porcelain Rim. I do not believe it's still possible to kill a shark, purely because there is no real good way to safe spot it. But I will look at it in a bit to see if there's like a rock or something I can get the shark stuck behind, because at least then in theory I can do it. And that's all I need to, as a minimum, to get that one kill. I don't know if I'm gonna consider it worthwhile to kill more than one, because we might enter a meme grind territory where I'm spending like tens of hours just getting enough balls for a single kill. We just got our first captain event. Actually, it would be pretty nice if I could get a gold bar, because who knows, it might be useful, and I don't really have a better way to get it, and we got it. It's actually, from this event, probably one of the best drops I can get. I'm guessing another nice bit of unlocking Porcelain Rim is that now I have over Implinks available. They're just gonna start flying around me, so if I get a good training method for Hunter, I might actually consider just lamping to, I know, Hunter 9 or whichever hunter is available for me, and to go from there. I have been cleaning up the backlog of my tasks, but I just noticed that imps do wander in, so I potentially have a chance to complete some of the tasks, like buying the Visor hat, by just killing an imp, if I remember correctly, which might be an option. Also, got my first easy clue, which is sadly just one chunk away, and there's essentially no way I'm gonna get to it anytime soon, so sadly it's gonna be dropped. Other than that, did some good progress on going through the drop table of men and women, so I think what I need to do next is to start this quest. And after that, it's just gonna be what? Let's see quickly. Okay, quest started. I think after that, the only task I have left are the rest of the drops. Alright, so the chunk picker active tasks are finally sorted out. All of the tasks that are left I can do. So let's go for it and sort out the sea charting. I think that's the last very quick task. So we're here. All we need to do is to interact with the salvaging station, and it's done. I think that technically I can do this one too. Let's see. Nope, no, I cannot. Yeah, so close, but that's another task that we will be able to do later on. I just now noticed that I have access to travel to pest control, but if I remember correctly, when I come back in the ship, so I do not think pest control is unlockable until I get to Cheng next to this. So all we're gonna do now is go back and grind some more men and women and get through the last few tasks that we have. And before I forget, we are at level 10 prayer, and I've been making a point to collect every single bone I can, because I am a bit worried that due to the fact that I don't have access to anything that requires gold, I might struggle down the line to train prayer even more than an average chunkman. So I am making sure that I just bury every bone I can. And another point is I was quite surprised just how many bolts that men and women drop. So that could be a valid way potentially for me to train up the first few ranged levels. Even though I don't believe the crossbow and the bronze bolts are powerful enough for me to kill a bull shark, at least it will be good for me to train those levels if I ever get access to a better bow. So that's actually a very nice unlock. And I'm especially going to be happy if that I have that if I unlock the chunk below. That will require me to either flinch or to range down the ice giants there. I'm just gonna be straight. I don't think I'm powerful enough or have access to gear good enough to solo the bosses there. And throughout this series, I will try and make a point not to get help from others, especially when it's like bosses that should be soloable as long as I have decent gear. And the moment I get decent gear, I will attempt them. I'm very close to getting like all the food that I want, even though it's not great food, but I mean, it's just food. Since right now, my best option for food would be to lure in, or not lure in, wait for the rats and Lanzen to come into my chunk and just kill them one by one there. But the downside is until I hit combat level 30 at least, I will be constantly attacked by the cubs and the big bear near me there. So it's a bit annoying. So it would be amazing to unlock something better. Right, and when chatting away, I absolutely missed that I finally hit strength 25. So what that means is if I go to attack, I get to keep my max hit of 4. So I can go all the way to 30 now. Great. This is getting closer and closer to done. The bronze bolt stack kind of slowed down a bit. In the beginning, I was just getting like 10 and 11 drops. Now I'm getting more like lower numbers, so it's not stacking just as fast. As always in RuneScape, you complain and you get what you want. Yeah, but it's just not stacking as fast as I kind of expected. So I think I still might stack some of them just for the sake of training. I don't know if it's a very good method to stack it for anything else than just for some quick training. Right, another beginner scroll. Is it anywhere close? No, it's not. Only if I die. Oh well. Okay, another easy scroll. Let's see if we're lucky. Really. And just as I start recording, another easy scroll. Please, no, not something better. Cool. Another one to the pile. Alright, and this is attack 20. And with a very, very nice mystery box, I could get Mithril. So, anytime. I'm waiting. Quizmaster or any other way is good with me. Finally, a event that's eventually gonna be some very nice XP, so let's get it in. And with this skill, I just reached the drop rate on both men and women for the Cadentine, and nothing yet. And with this skill, we are done. That's the last herb I needed. And our current kill count is 210 women and 212 men, so might as well make it even. We're back at the chunk picker, and I've looked through all the chunks that will be available for rolling and just kind of went through them quickly, and I think there's a few chunks that I would love to get next, and that would be the number 2, the West Current Woodland, mostly because it would kind of progress me very nicely. I would get like a bump of kind of gear that I get some best in slots, I get to farm a bit, the Moss Giants, which is not bad, it's actually a pretty decent farm. I get access to chickens, so that's a very fast way to get some food. I get access to a few hunting spots, which are not bad. Yes, I can't do anything with them now, but if I ever needed to properly train hunter, that would be amazing to have. Then on the other side, I would love to go towards Remington or the farm, but I would really prefer not to go down because that's just an outright death chunk for me right now. On the other hand, depending on how I progress, I can see a very nice path where I get a lot of nice unlocks bit by bit, and it's just like a smooth progression. Especially if I get like the farm and then this part, I would kind of get at least somewhere closer to training agility, since this chunk has the agility course entrance, but this chunk has the exit. So if I happen to progress up, at this point I don't know if I can squeeze through this bit, but again, this is an outright dash chunk. It has everything in it. It has mining all the way to 92. It has shooting stars, so quite a few unlocks. I think the mining is the main thing, but considering I cannot buy a pickaxe, I would prefer to avoid it as long as possible. It would be amazing to first of all go somewhere where I could obtain a pickaxe in any other way before I'm forced to do a very long grind. If I go to Remington and I need to do, what is it, like go up to golds? Yeah, up to 40 mining. That's okay. And it also gives you more clue steps, so that means with Port Rim and Remington, I would have quite a few available clue step spots that would allow me to hopefully roll for a black pickaxe and at least prepare a bit before any more serious grinds. Right, Entrana, I'm pretty sure would be kind of an empty chunk for now. It's nice because it unlocks another port for me, at least down the line. But I can't really go into the Entrana dungeon because I don't have any way to leave. All the ways available to leave are not the ways that I can use. So I don't have any teleports out, at least not now. And I can't really exit by dying because, again, I don't have Lumbridge unlocked. So yeah, I think it would be a relatively empty chunk, though I would get access to a few spawns and a few items just on the ground, which is not bad. I wouldn't mind getting it, but it would be potentially a delayed chunk that could cause some issues down the line. We'll see. In general, I wouldn't mind too much. So then there's this chunk, the shipyard. I haven't marked it, but actually this is one of the chunks that I would absolutely love to get. I would say it's just a star chunk, because if I want to do any ship related things, I need this chunk. I need to upgrade my raft, and yeah, then like a lot of the ocean related tasks become doable, because with a few raft upgrades even, I could start doing the tasks that I've currently backlogged, like killing the bull sharks or going like if I roll Ospreys doing it here. So yeah, it would be quite beneficial. There's no point delaying the inevitable. Let's go for it and let's see if it's gonna be a few days or a few months. Come on, what's the outcome? Okay, so it seems that the chunk is pretty free. I already know that it's a very quick charting task and I can't kill any Ospreys, so I can right away add the monster to the backlog and recalculate in. Yeah, it's just a very quick task which gives me 2 new unlockable chunks. It seems that this chunk would also be free, at least for now. And let's see, the runes and Mora also would be free for now. I don't know if... Yeah, for now it would be free, but down the line it might be something. It's because I just can't access the land at that point. The moment I can access through land, there would be something. I mean, I at least can get a weapon, which is not bad. But if I remember, I might need to go around. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, the chunk has been unlocked. Let's go in and check it out. Also, another very nice bit of unlocking a few extra water chunks is that I can actually now just go around trimming my sail without worrying that I'm just gonna leave the chunk. So if I ever decide to do a bit of grinding, that's one option. I don't know if it's gonna ever come to that, but if I decided that I wanted to get up to level 15, there's something I can do. Okay, right, so I can't really do this one because while I did unlock the skill, I didn't get the actual item needed because I very strictly only unlocked the quest itself to unlock the skill. That means I did not receive the spyglass itself. So sadly, this task will have to go to the backlog. Yep, because I do not have a spyglass. Let us check. All right. Okay. So chunk complete one way or another. And no point wasting time. Let's roll another chunk and see what we get. Maybe something more substantial this time. As long as it's not that one death chunk, I'll be pretty okay with that. Okay, yeah. The chunk above, that's fine. I think there's no new tasks for now. Yeah, there's no new tasks. And I believe this chunk will not be unlockable, so let's remove it right away. We can check it out in game. It's gonna be interesting to see what's there. So we have quite a few ospreys around. So if ever wanted to kill them, we now have a source. It's just that their max hit is not very promising. It feels like my 20 HP raf will not last long. And let's see. All right. We have... so I believe that this wouldn't be anything right now. But this always worrisome to unlock chunks that down the line could blow up on me. Like, for now, this is like the last chunk. But if I ever make it around, I'm getting close to here. And I'll be honest, I don't want to be there. Like, with the rule that I don't want to die, if possible ever, getting there too soon is not amazing. Either way, let's roll again. And okay, just in case, to make sure. Yeah, nothing there. Let's roll again and see if we're gonna be lucky. Come on, come on, come on. Something. Oh, okay, yeah. So there's no tasks there. Yeah, so nothing here. Essentially a free chunk. So in some ways, it's nice to unlock some free chunks when I still don't have any meme grinds queued, because, again, any free chunk roll would still reactivate any unfinished meme grinds that I am required to accomplish. But I would prefer some more beneficial free chunks that unlock something potentially good down the line. Let's just double check. Yeah, no tasks. Back to roll. And what do we get? Maybe something good. Please not the death chunk. Please not number 8. I would still... Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it seems I'm getting all the free chunks right now, which is both good and bad, because I'm just hoping it's not going to be like every available free chunk and then the worst death chunk I have available to me right now. I would prefer to have some better ways to skill, some better equipment I can get, not to go straight into a dungeon to kill ice giants when I have no access to magic or decent ranged. But we'll see how that goes. For now, let's go over there first and see if we're gonna be lucky. In the game, we're checking it out, and there's nothing here. Honestly, it's a great chunk if you have access through the LAN, because it's a shark spot. There's a campfire. At least you can farm stuff there, but nothing great there. So yeah, let's go back to the chunk picker. This one can be rolled. This is a free chunk for now, but it would absolutely be an explosive task the moment I have LAN access to it. And like, I don't know, like, do I get... It's actually a good question. Do I ever get LAN access to it? Yeah, so if it comes to that, there's a reasonable way for me to make into Varlamore, I will consider unlocking it. That means doing the pre-quest to unlock access to Varlamore. But as it stands now, I'm just getting pure ocean chunks there. Let's go for a new one. Let's hope for the best. Come on, not number 8, not number 8. Is it still 8? Yeah, please not the death chunk. Anything but the... Oh, amazing. Great, so we are getting somewhere. Okay, amazing for now. I don't know how it's gonna be after this chunk, because it can be horrific, but potentially I can get something good out of this. So I can get the wizard hats finally. I guess there's, yeah, better imp spawn there. I can get a cape. I can start a courser curse. I'm guessing is this is probably the... Is it the pickpocketing one? That one I am not sure. No, just to browse the store. I think if I also level my pickpocketing, maybe I could also accomplish cheekily the task on the side there, but that's fine to be done later. But the nice bit is that I get access to chickens and feathers. That means if I need to do some fletching, I have a feather source finally. What else? The beef and chicken is nice for cooking. I mean, it's fast XP. I don't think I have access to any way to start raking though, because there's only bucket. So okay, I can't get access to a bucket, so I get access to a bucket of milk, bucket of water, whatever I can put in it, so that's good. Let's go in and explore a bit. I mean, we do have access to this, but we have nothing. Oh, we could just start storing the buckets in here, like whenever we go by to get a few. Also, we have access now to a source for cabbages, which might be useful for some cooking at some point, since again we can't use any of the stores, so this is all we have. Yeah, let's check. I'm pretty sure these do not give any agility. Yep. So right, let's start with the Sarah bit. Let's talk to her, and I think, oh, what do I need? I need to browse her store. Okay, and the task is complete. Just the fact that I can't purchase anything means I need to collect everything I can. Let's see if it's technically possible to get into Falador on that small bit that looks like I could walk. Okay, before we do that, let's kill this one. As they love to run away, we might as well. Okay, I think I see a small sliver to walk past, so might be doable, and as a side effect we might be in for a, yeah, it's another dash chunk on our list. Well, from 1 to 2, I'm guessing it's for now not that. Oh, come on, really. Oh well. So I'll be just here trying to kill imps and get all of their random drops. And just got quite lucky and got the pot of flour quite early, so we're ready for the pita whenever we have the level. Now I just need to get the actual level to cook it. Decided to try out my luck on a guard in my chunk to see maybe I'm gonna get something interesting. Really, of all the drops, you drop literally what I'm... Right. Yeah, that's my luck. Of course, every now and then, when I have full HP, I try and go for a guard, just in case I get something interesting. I know that they drop clues at a pretty good rate, which, I mean, it's one source of clues for me, besides just grinding men and women. So, I was kind of forced to install the target through tile, because the imps keep running around and I'm just furiously trying not to get dragged out of my chunk. So at least with this I have some way of knowing if I'm just gonna be dragged at any moment, since it actually shows me where the imp actually is. See, so I knew in advance that the imp will just, yeah, it's so far ahead. Okay, so I got the potion, which is one of the rarest drops, yet I'm missing quite a few of a lot more basic drops, so I'm hoping it won't be too much longer and then I can just focus on the cooking grind. And as I continue to bury and scatter every printer point I get, it's level 18, slowly climbing up there. I'm hoping it's gonna pay off sooner than later, though right now it's actually useless. I just don't have a way to restore my prayer. Seriously, again, the drop rate of the Iron Dagger is not that low. Why does it keep dropping that one thing? There's like, okay, there's not a lot of more useful things that it could drop, but anything else, really? $20 cooking. Alright, and that's level 20 prayer. Level 14 range, finally max hit of 3. Should make this grind a lot smoother. Right, after such a delay, I'm getting another event, so I'm hoping... I don't know. Oh, right. So, I'm guessing this is the first and the last time I'm doing this event, because it technically brings me outside of my chunk, and as I can see, I think it unlocked a new music track that I shouldn't have gotten, since it wasn't in my chunk. So I just realized something. I was talking about potentially banking XP by getting some buckets and starting to compost. And then I realized I actually have access to something that I can start composting right now. And that's cabbages. And that's level 26 cooking, coming along nicely. If you close it and wait 5 minutes, it just automatically reopens. Can't say I've seen this anywhere else. All of them just seem to be the reverse of it. If you leave it open, it closes. But as far as I'm aware, that's the only one that reopens if you close it. And here's a very nice level, level 20 ranged. Okay, it's time to check out my compost. Just as I was ending the previous run, I noticed that it's done. So let's get some of my buckets out and see what kind of an XP drop we're gonna get from 15 buckets of compost. I'll be honest, I never expected I would be using something like that as a method to gain farming XP, but here we are. So it seems that at 15 composts, we're gonna be getting 67 XP. Actually, not horrible. Alright, level 2. And here's level 31. Level 32 coming in. 33. Nice. 34 cooking, and with this, no more burnt chicken. Alright, so that's level 24 prayer. Nice, 33 combat. And with the next chicken kill, it's 26 range, so the chunk goal is complete. Level 3. Alright. And with this, prayer 25, unlocking something I hope I'll never have to use. First quiz done. Let's see if we're gonna be lucky. Actually, not bad. Not useful right now, but not bad in general. 1 in 960. So I had a better chance to actually get a decent weapon upgrade for me right now than I had to get a rune arrow drop. Alright, and that's the one of the last significant unlocks for a while that allows me to do butter. So after this batch, I'll be going out and checking if it's better to make butter and bank it, or to cook chicken and bank it. Okay, so after trying it out for about 20 to 30 minutes, I'm getting about 7.5k max XP an hour. So it is a bit better. And that's my first 50. Nice. 51. 7 to go and halfway there. 52 and for sure halfway there now. Level 10 farming in between the churning sesh. 55 cooking, we're getting close. Some casual thieving just to break up the churning routine. Not useful now, will be very useful later. And we are there, level 58. All I need to make sure is I'm getting the pita dough, and let's cook it. Here it is, last task complete. Okay. I think this is just an ingredient, yep, for a kebab. Either way, very nice. Finally done. Let's put it back in and see how the bank looks after all of the grinding. From all the im grind, we have a variety of random things. Few herbs from the last grind of the men and women. So this is all the food that I've made for the 58 cooking. I collected every single thing I could. This is our equipment tab. We got some rune arrows. Very sad moments. I could have gotten so many better things from that mystery box, but I got rune arrows. The other arrows came from maze random events, and as I don't really abuse the maze events for infinite runes, I get a lot more arrows and other random things. Some of the money came from pickpocketing, so I started using my health as a resource more. Since I was running back and forth so much, I was just naturally recovered it fully, so I started to go down to like 3 HP thieving from men and women. I got 11 farming just purely from dealing with compost, so it went a lot better than expected. So this way up, through the water, this one is okay, but makes it a bit dangerous if I roll the woodcutting guild. This one is kind of pointless. Again, I did think about it, and if by some chance I go through these chunks and eventually reach the port, I think I'll just go and do the quest required for me to dock at Varlamore on this side. So this one is a chunk I don't want because it's a death chunk with very limited benefits for me. All the drops honestly come from the bosses. I probably would have to backlog them because I don't have a very good way of killing them unless I'm missing something. And I don't think if it's a reasonable way to approach it if it requires me to level all my combat to like 99s, since I have no prayer here. So unless I get a chunk with an altar first, I'm screwed here. This one, even though it's a semi-death chunk for me, I would actually kinda like to get. And the big reason why is I get to go to 49 smithing. It's a bit of a meme-esque kind of grind, but at least I would have a lot of other tasks, so I could do the smithing in between. And unlocking woodcutting is great because I want access to the forestry, since I see it as one of the best ways to do the initial levels into Hunter. Since I can catch imps, I have the equipment, I just don't have the level, and if I just do a few levels of Hunter, especially if I roll something else first, obviously, I would have a ways to level without doing imps. So that would be amazing. As I was recording this, I got a chance at the mystery box, so it's a great way to end the chunk. Let's see if I get luckier this time. Right, so on this side, don't want this, might want this. This is actually pretty sweet. This one, I wouldn't mind. I think I could potentially have a way to craft air runes if I had some essence. It would bring me closer to this one, which for now is absolutely fine. But yeah, this one I don't mind. Remington I kinda would like. I mean, it would be nice to have access to a house portal, since right now I have absolutely no way of teleporting anywhere. So if I got my house here, since I did unlock my house already, that was one of the unlocks before everything started, that means if I roll, let's say, the half of Draenor, although it doesn't show agility as an option, I could start leveling it by doing half the course and then just teleporting out to my house and slowly accumulating those first few levels of XP. And Trana, I'm indifferent. Honestly, it's gonna be a very fast one because, as I just mentioned, I don't have a way to teleport out, so all of these are not applicable. Before I roll, I did have a thought, and I think a good way to justify buying a skiff is if I got the GP from thieving from men in Port Sarim. So at least thematically, I would be stealing from the people in the port to buy a ship and like escape. And what is it gonna be? It is Entrana. Yeah, so as expected, the moment I marked the dungeon as not accessible, the vast majority of tasks disappeared, and this has become a very quick chunk. Okay, so I finished with all of the quick tasks, got my level up to 20 for thieving, and now I've been collecting potatoes, delaying the chunk roll a bit because I was nicely informed that I'm ultra close to a death chunk because of those few seaweeds right there. So now I'm actually really hoping that's not my next roll. I'll just commit to it. What's the worst that could happen, right? Let's go for it. Please not the next one. Please not the one next to it. Okay. This is a nothing chunk. Let's go for it. Let's see again. What do I get? Something good? Something good? Okay. So this is where it ends for now. Okay. This will be something. Yeah. Yeah. This will take time. And that's a wrap on episode 1. Was this clean? No. But was it efficient though? Absolutely not. No. Did I spend way too long doing things that do not matter in any way? Yes, I did repeatedly. And that's where all the rough cuts came in, especially the ones from the chunk picker. It's just me trying to tame down all the rambling I did, and eventually all the chunks I did not get were just like discussing way too much death. But despite all of that, we did make progress. I put it all on the screen, the stats that went up, drops acquired, and the kill count that does prove I am willingly putting myself through this for some reason. This account is already kind of spiraling, and the rules are questionable, so I'm pretty sure the future me will regret this, especially what's coming up. In the next episode, I will try to be a bit more focused and hopefully produce better quality clips, which my hope is will lead to better outcomes. And I'll have some chances to explain some of the rules I have yet to touch on in depth. Either way, if you made it this far and you actually watched the whole thing, you have my deepest sympathies. If you skipped half of it, or you just kind of watched it on your second monitor, somewhere lost in the tabs, honestly, I'll take it, whichever it was. And no point to drag this out now. It's already as long as it is. I'll see you next time.